All right. Okay, I think it's 7:05 already. If you are still with us, please can you drop a thumb up? Thumb up, please. Every one of us that are on this, can you please drop a thumb up? All right, all right, all right, all right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the executive of AYDF, the Association of Yoruba Descendants in Finland, I want to warmly welcome every one of you to another edition of our monthly dialogue. My own name is Ajayi Temitope. I happen to be the secretary of the Yoruba Association, and I have the privilege of serving as your host for today's session. And whether you're joining from different part of Finland or from outside Finland, I want to say thank you for taking the time to be here. And I'm sure many others will still join us in this particular meeting. And if you have not invited your friend or your brother that you know that is in Finland, you can still send the link to them now so that they can join. And I want you to also know that the meeting has a limit of 100. When it's 100, you might not be able to invite others. So please, you have the time and all the time to actually invite whoever you want to invite right now. Today's discussion is particularly important because many of us are either trying to build a career, establish a business, integrate into this wonderful Finnish society, or simply understand how to thrive in this country. This session promises practical insights, honest conversation, and then useful guidance that can make a real difference. I believe our speaker is actually ready for us. Before we proceed, I would like to respectfully ask everyone, please mute your mic, please, everyone. I want to respectfully ask that you mute your mic. We want to avoid all this background noise so that our recording can come out exactly the way we want it. If you have questions during the presentation, like I said earlier, please try and signify by raising your hand. We'll address them, and if possible, you can drop them in the question and answer session too, in the question box, I mean, so that we can see it from there. Then after the session, then we can start reading and then be able to go through them one by one. Okay, as much as this is a learning session, I would like to probably start with prayer. So anybody that is led, please, can you just give us a short prayer as to concerning this dialogue? Anyone, please? I don't want to call names. If you know you're led and you can give us, so please, you can just unmute your mic and start right away. Hello? Anyone? Please just unmute and just give us short prayer so that we can start immediately. Shall I call a name? Mr. Setting, you came in first. Please, can you just give us short prayer so that we can kick on? Thank you, sir. Mr. Setting, are you with us? Mr. Matthew, just give us short prayer, then we start. Mr. Matthew, thank you. Okay. Oh yeah, please, give us the prayer.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Ancients of Day, we give you all the glory and all the honor for today. We make a day and you let it come to reality. We give you all the honor. As we are about to start, Daddy, please come and be our guidance.
Amen.
Let us through. We are here to learn. The power for wisdom and understanding belong to you. Daddy, please grant it unto us.
Amen.
In the name of Almighty God, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much for that prayer, Mr. Matthew. That's our PRO for the AYDF. Once again, you are all welcome. I welcome everyone to this meeting. AYDF remain committed to creating opportunity that connects, educate, empower, and preserve our Yoruba heritage while supporting our members to succeed here in Finland, not just our member, even, every Nigerian or every immigrant here in this country. Our monthly dialogue is one of the platforms where we learn from professionals and experienced individuals who are making remarkable impact in their respective field. Today's topic, just like we have seen on the flyer, says living and thriving in Finland, where you can, make use of the opportunities, also, experience, get exposed to the challenges and those practical tips that you need for success. Sorry, I need to admit those that are just coming in. Okay. During this session, we'll be discussing, these highlights, understanding how Finnish job market really works, reading Finnish workspace culture correctly, positioning your experience so that it is recognized, building visibility and meaningful professional network, practical and honest step towards settling and thriving in Finland. I'm sure our wonderful speaker will highlight more on all of these things. So I encourage everyone to please try as much as we can, take notes, because I'm confident you will learn a lot and you will leave with a valuable lesson you can immediately apply. I would like to introduce our speaker to us now. It gives me pleasure to introduce our wonderful speaker and distinguished speaker as for today, Mrs. Oluwabunmi Adeojo. She's one of us. I think as I introduce her, we are supposed to give a clap emoji. So if you can do that, please, let's give a clap emoji. She's the head of people and culture at Blooms, Finland, and the founder of Adeojo Consulting. She also holds a master's degree in peace, mediation, and conflict research from Tampere University. Over the years, she has built extensive experience in people's management, workplace, culture, talent development, recruitment, and helping professionals succeed with Finnish work environment. Don't be deceived by her look. I'm sure all these things I've just read out now, you might be thinking that okay, maybe we're expecting someone like someone of a 70-year-old, because you can't garner this experience if you're not that old. But I tell you, you have a lot to actually learn from her today. Her passion for empowering people and creating inclusive workspace has made her a respected voice in HR and leadership space. We're truly honored to have her with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our guest speaker, Mrs. Oluwabunmi Adeojo. Please, you can switch on your camera so that you introduce yourself to us. Thank you. Ms. Oluwabunmi Adeojo, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here and my camera is on. Can you see me?
You might need to unshare first so that they can
Okay.
see you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Then you can share when you want to start. Aha.
Okay.
You have the floor. You can go
Hello,
ahead.
everyone. Thank you again for this opportunity. I am Yoruba by blood and by marriage. So it is good to be home and good to share insights with us today. Thank you so much for the introduction, Mr. Temitope. I will share my screen now. Apparently, I can't share my screen and share my face. So
Yeah, sure, of course.
I will share my screen so that you can follow with what I'm about to share. I will try to keep to the time that has been allocated to me. Okay, so these are the topics that we're going to be going through today. Before I moved to Finland, I thought that I understood what starting again would feel like. I did not. Can you hear me? Am I
Yes, we
audible
can.
enough? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, but I don't know. Is it from my own end alone? Your screen is not showing fully, or is it that your PDF is minimized?
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see the share screen. I can see it. I don't know if any other person, can you confirm if you can see it, please? Yes, but is it full screen?
Is it a full screen?
Can you see the whole content? I want to make this from my end. So they can't see it. So you might need to, yeah, you need to expand your PDF.
Yeah.
Or you can just close it and reopen it again, then we share.
See. Okay. Yeah. Is this doing any work?
No, it's still the same thing we are saying.
Okay.
You can probably close the PDF and reopen it again, and yes. So you open it again and you share.
Oh, let me open directly on something else. Okay. So let me try one more time. Adobe. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Can you see? No?
Yes. No, we are saying you. We are saying you.
Okay. Can you see the screen now? Because I chose this one.
No, it's still you. I'm saying. I am saying
face
you.
you're seeing.
Yes.
I was trying to open it through another. Means if the other one, opening it on the web, was misbehaving.
Or if you can send it to me, I can actually share from my end. Then I help you scroll through it. That is okay.
Okay, maybe we should do that. Because we tried this before this meeting started.
Yes,
and you saw the full screen, right?
Yes. It happens sometimes, You can send it to me. I share it from here, then I just help you go through it.
Yeah, I'm doing just that now.
Thank you all for joining. We appreciate you. Don't worry, we have enough time to spend here. And we'll try as much as we can to attend to all questions, no matter what the question is. And we believe that somebody on this app will surely have an answer to your question. So just please bear with us. And we believe we'll all take something in from today's session. Are you sending it to me?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I was trying to. Have you seen it?
You sent it to my WhatsApp, right?
Yes, I did.
Yet to receive any. Let me just say hi. Okay, I've seen it now.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Just a minute, please. I'm trying to download it from here so that we can have. I guess I need to send it to my email and then be able to. Sorry, just a minute. So while we are waiting, please, every one of us on the call, can you just drop from where you are joining from? If it is Helsinki, if it is from Banta, please just drop in your chat, please, where you are joining from. We really appreciate it so that we can know. Yes, I think I can. We can see your screen now.
Does it show it fully now?
Yes, it's showing, but it's like your thing, as in it's kind of. Can you see your screen yourself?
Yeah, I can.
Are you seeing the full screen on the chat?
No, but I have to scroll through.
But that screen is not big enough. But we can, well, if that is visible enough from your end, I think it's okay. We can manage it like that. We can go ahead. I think we are good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for the technical obstruction. So I was saying that before I moved to Finland, I thought I understood what starting again would feel like, but I did not. I remember the exact sensation of going from being the one who drove, who knew the routes, who solved problems without asking anyone, to now sitting in the passenger seat of my own life, watching the road, unable to take the wheel myself yet, depending on someone else to explain things I used to just know. That feeling does not mean that something is wrong with you. It means that you are between two versions of competence, the one that walked back home and the one this place has not yet recognized in you. Tonight is about closing that gap faster than I closed mine. And this takes me to the first topic, which is subtopic, which is understanding how the Finnish job market really works. So there's the official advice, and there's what actually happens underneath it. The official advice says you should write a good CV, apply for the role you want, and wait. But what actually happens is closer to this. So a recruiter is given 15 strong candidates for one role, and the first three who respond move forward. The other 12 get a generic no, not because they were less qualified. Some of the 12 may even be more qualified than the three who answered immediately. But because speed was the only filter that 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 time had, that was what happened. That was the advantage the first three had over the remaining 12. There are certain things about the job searching in the way job searching is structured in Finland that I do not agree with. But I definitely agree with the part that says that it deserves full attention and priority because responsiveness is the one variable that you can control. So if it's about job searching or trying to switch jobs, the variable that is within your control as the person who is the job seeker is how quickly you can respond or how fast you can respond, and not just being able to respond, but how ready you are when you are called upon to respond. So when the opportunity of or the door opens, would you be standing there with what is required? That's the question. So when the timing and the internal politics of a company you have never seen are all outside your hands. Whether they use 8 years to screen, whether it is a recruiter that is really reading your CV, whether the CEO likes you, whether your operating team likes you, it's not something that you can control. But the one that you can control as the job seeker or the talent, let's use talent because not everybody is job seeking. Some people are just seeking to move into something better or move into something that is more of their calling. So let's use the word talent for the purpose of this webinar. So as the talent, what you can control is your responsiveness. There's also a structural shift that is happening right now that is worth knowing about. AI. AI has come to stay. And because AI has come to stay, it has redefined a lot of roles. So my challenge and often questions to talent is, what has AI replaced in your role? And does the value you say you bring say that? Or you're still living in the version of your role before AI? Because most of the roles, the traditional roles that we have evolved due to AI. So it's important to understand what has changed in the field that you're trying to get into, and be sure that your value is speaking from that point, so that you are actually in the market, not speaking to a market from its history. Now, to the reading Finnish workplace culture correctly, I want to share something that I have noticed living and working across very different systems. This is not research, this is what I have personally lived and watched. So take it as my honest account, not a verdict on anyone. So, in several workplaces I have been part of, an interview will often start with your certificates. What did you study? What did you train in? And then the conversation will move from there. In the rooms I have sat in here, the order is reversed. The first real question would be what problem you can solve, what value do you bring? And it's only after you have convinced them that the problem that you solve is relevant to them, are relevant to the role they are interviewing you for, and that the value you bring will also bring them value, then they begin to check your papers and be sure that you meet all the requirements. I have also noticed a different relationship with time in a role. So, in some of the places that I have worked, or I worked before I came to Finland, when you stay 2 years on a role, it can be read as instability, as though you're not loyal. So if all your CV keeps reading only 2 years, 2 years, it means that this person will come and in the next 2 years the person is out the door. But here I have seen the opposite also. And what I have seen is that it doesn't show instability. Instead, it's actually an expectation that between 2 to 5 years from when you have been in a role, if the company was not scaling or growing, let's put it like this, if the talent was not scaling or growing with the company, then it's already expected that the talent begins to find other places or companies where they can scale or grow with, as against the belief that the longer you stay, the more loyal you are. So in this place, it is now I would say discernment on how to read the room. Whether if I remain in this role and with this company, I would scale. It helps my career. It helps where I'm going in future. Or if I remain here out of loyalty, by the time I'm presenting myself in the market, it's already looking like the market had left me while I was trying to be loyal. So it's very important to read the room. Now, also, there's something really harder about some of the environments that I have worked in when it comes to work-life balance and career breaks. Uh, Before I came to Finland, career breaks always had to be explained with something that related to your career. So even if you were taking care of a sick parent, you just had a new baby, or you just wanted to rest, you just wanted to take some time off, you had to explain it with doing something. You can either say you were taking a certification at that time, and of course, you have to have the certificate to show for it, or you can say you were upskilling in something. So there always has to be this explanation of something I was doing for my career. It's almost as if you were never allowed to take career breaks. But it's not the same here. If you explain it, if you explain it properly here, it's read as work-life balance. I took a break to I've been on recruitment teams where people who have been taking care of their parents for 2 years, people who took the time off to take care of their children who had challenges health wise for 2 years, 3 years, were re-employed because it was written very clearly in their CV that this is the reason why I had the break. And nobody is faulting you for that, because they do expect that there's a human side of you. So this is another thing to take note of when we are comparing the two paradigms. That depends on what part of the world that you have worked in, or what part of the world that you are coming from. If where you are coming from, it used to be like that, it's not the way it works in Finland. Finland is big on work-life balance. So now nobody will be asking you to justify a gap here. As long as you put it in clear terms, this is what I was doing, they're fine. They don't need any other extra explanation. So it's a different set of rules in each market, and understanding those rules would really help in how you position your value in that market. So it also helps when you see the rules through the right eyes and you judge the rules clearly. It becomes something easy for you to work with and not work against. Because if you are not aware of the rules, you don't even know that you're breaking them. But if you're aware of the rules and you have the background, then it's easy to be able to work with it and not against it. Now, when it comes to positioning our experiences so it can be recognized. So I'll tell you what it looked like for me. I'll give my personal story. I spent 5 years as the sole executive assistant to a director general, running a federal regulatory agency with 1,500 staff across 13 branches in Nigeria. I sat on interview panels for a president and vice president. I caught a royalty clause that was buried in a very huge contract that had already passed legal review. But when I came here, I described all of that as admin work. That's how I was writing my CV, administrative work. I assisted with administrative work. But then every time I said that, I watched how it was almost like, and so what am I supposed to do with administrative work? Every time I said it, it was like all the work I know I had done back home was shrinking. At every point I said I did administrative support work. So because I had not yet learned that this market needed a different sentence, not a smaller truth, just translating that truth into something that the market understood. So once I learned to say it as it actually was, then I began to hear people say, you are a chief of staff, and the kind of things that you have done at chief of staff level. So the room heard me quite differently. Nothing about what I did changed, nothing at all. My experience was there, but the way I was presenting it, just one sentence of I did administrative work, changed everything for me. Now, this translation work, finding the sentence that actually carries your real value, is something that I do with people, and that's what I do with Adeojo Consulting. I help people in talents to be able to find the value that they bring to the particular ecosystem that they are in. And I also help companies, I also consult for companies to help them to ensure that the talent that is coming also feels valued, so that their ecosystem is valuable enough for the talent to be able to feel valued. So it becomes a symbiotic relationship. So I would that we can talk about if you need my services after now. But for today, we will continue with this talk because I have just 30 minutes for this call. Now, building visibility and networks intentionally. So now I'm going to share, as we said, because when Mr. Temitope reached out to me, he talked about being real and honest. So I'm going to use a lot of what has happened to me on the call. So I would like to do some, I would like to share some of the things that have happened with me and numbers. So a few weeks ago, I wrote one honest post about the gaps in Finland's integration system. That post reached over 30,000 people. It brought me more than 300 profile views in one single week. And my inbox is still filled with conversations from that post. Now, I had more clients than I have had from January just from one post. There are so many things. I'm still in it. I still have people reaching out to me and sending me the post or sending me the link to the post to say, I just read this post and I would like us, there are different collaborations that have come out of just this single post. Now, when I made that post, I had no idea that it was going to be like this. I had no idea that this was how it was going to blow up. It's not that I sat down and decided that, okay, let me think of the best marketing strategy to get talent to my consulting, or to reach companies to know about me more in Finland, or to get the regulatory bodies, because I've also had a few collaborations from some government agencies because of that post. So I didn't expect any of this. I just wrote from my heart and from the experiences that I have gathered from both myself and the clients that I have consulted for. Now, it it said plainly that people who needed to hear someone name what I was naming. That's what the outcome or the result of that post did. That when you put yourself out there and you're actually bringing out the value that people need, the remaining part of it comes naturally. Like, if the value is quite clear, people are able to gravitate towards that value. So that is the whole strategy. Visibility does not usually come from applying into silence. Remember how I started? I said the general advice is that you do a CV, you find a job, you tailor your CV to that role, and then apply and wait. Imagine if that's all that I ever did. If I just sat down and applied, and I just sat down and I was waiting, then nobody will have gotten to know me. I mean, I also had a job offer from that post. I forgot to mention. Unfortunately, I couldn't take it because I already had another. But that was something that came out of that post, and I didn't use a CV to apply for. The person just reached out to me and said, I read your post on this and I think you'll be a great fit for this role. Can you look at it and tell me if it's something we would like to discuss about? If it's something that you're interested in doing. So I didn't apply and wait. I put myself out there. That's what I'm trying to say. So we have to be seen, and not just seen once, seen consistently. I'm sure for those of us who have been here longer than 2 years, you would agree with me that Finland is an environment that loves consistency. So you don't just show up one day and then go and say nothing happened. And then before this post that blew up, I'm sure that I had done 12 posts already and nothing had happened. I was posting every week. But just one of those days in the middle of posting, then the post blew up, and so many things have happened after that. Now, um, so what happens is that we need to come to be seen, and not just seen, but seen consistently, to be saying things that bring value, so that where the people who need that value that we're bringing, those rooms will get to us. And I love LinkedIn for that. LinkedIn is a very, very practical place to start with. So you're applying for roles, you know the industry so well, but nobody is seeing you yet. Write about your thoughts. Tell us the things in the industry that, I'm not asking you to give out all your secrets, but write about what makes you you, what makes you uniquely you in that area. Give us some suspense. Tell us how it goes in the market that you're in. Let's be able to read from that and know that this person is not just writing from top knowledge. This person understands really about how it goes. And the recruiter would always know. They can always tell when it is surface level and when it is deeper. So, and with writing, it's something that gets better over time. What you write in January, the experiences that you have had through from January till August that we are now, will be different. If you have to write the same post again, you will do it better. So the more you write, the better you get at it, even in expressing, in putting your thoughts together and in expressing them, the better you get at it. So please put yourself out there. And then when it comes to practical, honest steps for settling and thriving. So a few things I would tell anyone starting where I once stood is that don't treat the language as a long game or a checkbox. Most people study Finnish as far as UKI requires. And now, since January, that level is legally now tied to permanent residence. So it's no longer like before, that was only for citizenship. So once they hit the grade, everybody hits the grade, then you stop. But that will get you through the paperwork. and that's all that it will do. So it will not get you into meetings that switch to Finnish the moment the formal conversations end. I don't know if any of you have been in meetings like that, but I have been in plenty of meetings like that, that they'll say, oh, no, don't worry whether you can speak Finnish or not, just come. And then after the first true introduction, then the person speaks Finnish all through. And so you now have to wait for the translation if it ever comes, and for the Google Translate version of it, which is not always exactly what the Finnish language means. Sometimes there's a distortion in how the translation goes. So you may not really enjoy the full experience of the meeting. Another one is the promotion that gets quietly passed to your colleague who can represent the team without a translator in the room. Because if they are going to take you who doesn't speak Finnish, they would have to look for a translator so that when you are speaking, somebody else can be saying the Finnish for them. So these are opportunities that come to people who understand, even B2 level, are able to have a working proficiency of the language, but didn't just stop at, I just want to get my papers and forget about it. So it also helps with your integration, because the more you understand the language, the better you understand how the people think. There are certain rules about the language that when it is broken down to you, you already just get why they behave like this and why they think like this. So staying with the language after that is what opens the rest slowly over the years. Now, another advice I'll give is stop applying everywhere and start appearing somewhere specific. This example I always use with my clients. Imagine that we have 5 doors to open, and in between each door, there's a wall. So it takes you to open, and you need to open all the 5 doors. It takes you from the first door, you open the first one, you have to pass the wall, open the second one. Now, imagine that we have 2 sets of these doors facing each other. 2 talents are in it. One talent will open door one, pass the wall, open door two, pass the wall up to the 5th door. The other talent opens door one, stops, opens door one again, keeps opening. Now, the time that it has taken the second talent, who is going through all the doors to see when they open, to move from one door to another, whatever it is that was blocking that first door from opening, by the time the second talent is going the second time, the person on that first door must have gotten through. So if you look at it like that, you understand that when you're applying everywhere, your attention is in too many places. So it is difficult to give your best value. But if you put yourself in something specific. Now, when I'm saying specific, I don't mean one job role, but something specific. Okay, so I'm targeting this sector, and then in this sector, there are only 3 jobs that I want to target here, or 3 job descriptions that I want to target here. So it helps you filter, because I don't know about you, but personally, when I come on LinkedIn, there's so much to look through that if you don't have a structure and the things that you're looking for, you can get carried away. You can be there 2 hours just looking through jobs that do not concern what you need to apply for at the moment. But if you start by identifying the key sector, the sector that you want to be in, and then what roles you believe that your skills are best for, and then you focus on that. So for instance, let me use my field. For instance, if I come on LinkedIn and I'm looking for chief of staff, for instance, and then I come and I see virtual assistant, the same sector, but not what I'm looking for. So I jump and pass, and I move straight to the ones that I see that are chief of staff. However, if I didn't do this definition, what will happen is, oh, virtual assistant, I can do it. Then I stay on that role and I read. Then I get to the end and realize that, but this salary is not commensurate to what I want. But I have spent the whole time reading that job ad, and I'm not going to use it because I'm not even going to save it enough to apply. It doesn't click for me, and then I move. Imagine if you have 10 of those kind of things that you never get to use. You have lost a lot of time that you'll have used to imagine if you just saw one that is exactly what you need, and then you're thinking, okay, how can I present my skill? Yes, I answered this question, I checked this box. Okay, how do I write my CV? You're done with that. Then you start, of course, preparing for the interview already beforehand, so that nothing meets you by surprise. But if you keep doing this everything and everywhere, what my I spoke to one of my talents the first time we had the call, told me that he doesn't have any sector that he's looking for. What he has is a salary bench. So anything that goes below that salary bench, he doesn't look for. And I'm like, that is not a strategy. It will just make you waste so much time because there's so much salary bench in sectors that you have no skill for. So if you are using salary bench as a filter, you're going to be filtering a lot of clutter. You'll be filtering a lot of things that do not concern you. So instead of focusing generally, my advice will be streamline, define what you want from the beginning. So it's easier for you to filter a lot of things out and spend your time in presenting yourself with the best value for the ones that you have already singled out, that this one, so I am sure that my skills are very good here. Now, finally, what I would say is know the rules before you judge the room. Almost everything will feel strange here because we were not born here, we didn't grow up here. But everything has the logic underneath it. Everything that we see here that feels weird, it has the reasoning behind or underneath it. And so even when the logic is not something that we grew up with or something that we're used to working with from where we have come from, learning the rules in the new environment that we are will make it easier for you to work inside it than for you to work against it, as I have said before. And honestly, it always makes a difference because you can always tell. For instance, one example I will give is when I came to Finland, it was very strange for me to start putting my photograph on my CV. All the CVs I had used before I came here, I never had to put a picture, and it felt pretty weird. But it was a rule, even though now a bit of it is changing, but it was a rule that was a very huge shock to me. I'm like, why? Doesn't that already? I felt first of all before I understood that this is a trust-based society, and they already want to feel connected to you before they even meet you. For me, when I came in, the first thing was that's a very hard filter because everybody will say I'm black before they even get to see my skills and may not want to employ me. That was the thought I had before I understood the rules and the logic and the reasoning behind it. And so this is why I'm saying that it's very important to understand the rules before you judge the room so that it's easy for you to work with it. Because when you don't even know what the rules are, you'll be working against it and you have no idea. You will be doing another one is this GDPR rules. Every year GDPR adds another layer. And so before it was okay to put your address, your house number on your CV, but right now it's not okay. And this is something that if you don't find out the rules, it can work against you. The reason is because the company that is opening your CV that has your address on it is already breaking a privacy law that will put them in trouble, because if they are found out when they come for auditing, they get fined. It has nothing to do with the talent, whether the talent was employed or not. The talent who sent that CV may never even know that the company was fined. So there are hard filters already as your CV is arriving. If it has your house number, the number of your house, for instance, if you live in a number 8A and it is on your CV, it's already a hard filter for companies who know their GDPR already. So your CV may not even get read because ATS will have removed it one side. This person is trying to get us into trouble. But if you do not know these rules, then you will put it innocently, saying, so that they know that I live in Finland, so they know I really live here. But you have no idea that that alone is a hard filter for you. So, in closing, I would say, I was already someone before I moved, and so are you. Moving did not erase the person that I was. It's only asking us to find that person again. One room, one conversation, and one Sunday like this one at a time. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much for that enlightenment and everything that you have said. Especially on that last one, I think it's actually, I'm sure it's most on this call already. You know, adding your phone number to your CV and then also your address to, that can actually prevent the company from even assessing the CV that you have sent to them. I'm sure some of us on this call are already looking at it now that, oh, that's the reason why I've not gotten any call. Oh, that's the reason why I've been getting we are sorry kind of message, all these negative messages and all. And you mentioned so many things. And I believe that everyone on this call too, we have one or two things to say. I don't know, but prior to that, if you have any question, please don't hesitate. You can always raise your hand, and also you can drop your question in the comment section, and I'm sure your questions will be read. While we have a caller, you can show your face so that we can see you. Sorry, thank you. Since
I can stop my screen now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you can just switch on your video. Yeah, thank you.
My video is on.
Once again, I want to appreciate you for coming on this call, and we believe you have actually passed a lot of message across, a lot of message. Although I have one or a few questions that I need to ask you, I'm sure everybody will benefit from it as well. And I believe some of those that are on this call to have one or two other questions. And I'm sure it's either they are typing it or they are waiting to raise their hand so that they can ask it directly from you. One of the questions I want to ask you, from your experience working in the HR and the culture in Finland, what do you think is the biggest mistake you see skilled immigrants make when searching for a job, and how can they avoid it? And I think maybe this one is in relation to what you said, towards the end, but you cannot just take that out of it and, probably look for another one that you think, okay, this is another mistake I think people make and it's really affecting so many, and this is how they can avoid it. I'm sure you understand the question I asked?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I would say two things. The first one I would say is, again, like I said in the conversation, that it's important for us to understand the rules. And I think the biggest mistake I've seen is, one of them is this issue of address. And before I go on with this question, let me correct. I didn't say phone number. I was referring to address, because if you agree to submit your application to the company that you saw the ad for, then you have agreed to give us your private details, which includes your number, your name, and your location, but not your address. So like number 8 Haminkatu Street would not fly, but Tampere, Finland will fly, or Helsinki, Finland will fly. So like your particular home address, until it is time for us to send the contract, your employment contract, then we will request for your personal details as far up to your home address. But with your phone number, it's okay to put your own number. Where the problem is if you are putting the number of your referee. That is another issue, because now that's a third party. Between the company and the person who is seeking for job is okay with their numbers, but for your referees, it's not okay. So there's usually, sometimes when you fill forms, you see where the company is asking, do you have a referee? Give us their email. And if they go through first, second stage with you, they can ask you for referees. In that case, it's okay to give the numbers, but writing it up front on your CV with their personal details is already a GDPR issue. Now, another common thing that I see, apart from the GDPR issue, is the value. Like, I'm reading so many CVs from internationals, and I'm like, this person can do this job. But the way they are presenting it is like a list of tasks. You're not saying it in the way that shows that you are, okay, you've done all this. How does that translate to the role that we are advertising for? How does that translate to the value that you bring to us as a company? Of course, you need to say what you have done, but what was the impact that it achieved? And that impact, is it relevant to what we need for the role, or you're just listing all your achievements for us? Do you understand? So this is the difficulty I see mostly. People just list, and they have really good achievements that can be tied to the job role if we have the time to sit and think about it. But usually there's no time. The time between how much you need to deliver the client on the role is quite short. So it's important that you make the work easy for us to be able to read through, and they would say that the average recruiter spends 3 minutes on one CV. So if I'm going to spend 3 minutes on your CV and you have not told me the value that you bring to this role, then I don't have the time to sit and think, okay, well, maybe this applies in this way and that way and that way, because I have 1,000 others waiting for me to go through in the same way. So these are the common misconceptions I've seen. I think the third one, which is where I will stop because there are so many, is in the order, and this is why I started with learn the rules. Is in the order. Where I came from also, education was more important as per your certifications, and your educations will be listed. And I've seen a couple of international CVs like that, and the person goes on with the education, which is okay. But then when you start listing your certifications before you begin to list what you have done or the value that you bring, I have spent basically my 3 minutes on your CV reading only certifications before I even get to the point where your value, where your job, what you did when you were working is. So again, I would say if we understand the room, then to be easy to be able to arrange it in such a way that just have this 3 minute rule. Person is going to spend 3 minutes on my CV. Just in 3 minutes, would they be able to get that I am a great fit for this role? That would be the good question to always ask before you send out your CV.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm sure we have all got that. Before I ask the next question, I think someone is raising his hand, Mr. Israel Adeshokon. See, are you asking a question or you want to uh, add to what has been said?
Yeah, mine is a question. Good
Yeah.
evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes, we
can.
can.
Yeah, nice presentation. I really appreciate this program. Mine is more of a question for someone who just got an offer, or who, and I would say this is like the first experience of like working in a um proper formal environment in Finland, and you are happy and at the same time you are nervous because you don't know what to expect or something like that. What advice would you give for someone in that position? What do you think, like based on your experience, the office policy, um how one can play it well here? But I just, because sometimes I don't know how to explain myself, but that's just why I'm feeling nervous and at the same time I'm feeling happy because I don't know, I don't know, I don't know whether I will go there, and it's not as if I know the skills, I know everything, but at the same time you still feel this nervousness within you.
Mm.
So what are
Mm.
the things you think one can take note of, some of the things one can build on so one can grow within that sector, that company? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I just ask one question to give a bit of context?
Yeah.
Prior to now, were you working in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay, so this helps me. Um, what
But
I'll say is,
while I was working in Nigeria, I most of my years I was working on my own, running my business into digital marketing and every other thing. But for like a year,
mm,
I started working with Lafarge, but not, I didn't spend so much here in corporate.
okay,
So that's why most of these years I've been working on my own, working for other people from home. Yeah.
okay. The first thing I will say is read the room. Not all company cultures are the same, and in fact if they are all the same we should be suspecting them, because just the same way we have different human beings is how we have different company cultures. But what I would say is read the room. Like, try to understand. Don't be too much in a hurry to want to speak up. Try to understand. It can take you 2 weeks to be able to read the room, but just try to read the room. Of course, when you're called to introduce yourself and to speak, please go ahead and do it. But try to read the room, especially of your immediate team, because they will be the ones that would really influence a lot about how successful you are at that role. That's the immediate team that you work with. Another advice I'll give, because you're coming from Nigeria, is work-life balance is not an option. Please don't be busy when they are going for sports. Work-life balance in Finland is not an option. So if your team is doing something like, it's not all work, there's also play. So try to find the balance. Don't don't put yourself out there to always be available for all day when it is not official work, but ensure that you're not left out of the loop, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So when they are going for lunch or they are going to do a hangout, just ensure that you're part of it, that you don't separate yourself from it. Because apart from how much you do with your skills, they are also going to assess whether you were a fit in the team. And honestly, even if you were the most qualified on the team, if you didn't blend with the team, the possibility that they will lay you off is high, is highest. So you have to find the balance, and this is why I said read the room. But also remember that work-life balance is not an option. Try to ensure that you're in part of the activities that are not just official, that are not just about your roles. That your team members are playing as a team. Please play with them too. I'm
Okay,
sure
thank
that
you.
you'll do great. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Israel. Hope your question were
Yeah,
answered.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. So that's option of trying ensuring that you join your team for extracurricular activities is very, very important. Sometimes, even when they tell you they're going to a bar and you are not the type that actually drink, hot drink or something, you can actually join them, just sit with them, joke with them, laugh with them. You don't have to drink with them if you don't want to. But the fact that you are there, they respect you for it, just the all works are no play. Yeah, they don't joke with, going out, team bonding and all. And if you don't bond with your team, of course, they might feel like, okay, you are an outsider or you are not part of the team or you don't want to create that familiarity with the team and all because they appreciate it a lot. They can work for 2 hours and play for 5 hours. That's one thing about Finnish culture sometimes. So while we await other questions to come in, I would ask this question again. In the course of applying, there are some job that comes without the exact amount or amount to be paid yearly or monthly. Then they ask, okay, how much do you think you would like to earn? I don't know, maybe there is a general response to that, or maybe it is personal or something. What do you advise in this kind of situation?
Um, my first response to that is that from June of this year, that law is no longer valid.
Okay.
They are not supposed to. You're not supposed to see any. The EU had passed that law, and it took effect from June. You're
Okay.
supposed any job role that is advertised is supposed to come with pay transparency. However, there are a few exceptions to it. I know one of them is Finnish Defense Forces. So they would advertise their roles without. And when you see that, my advice would be go to Glassdoor and get an average of what is in the market. And then if you don't have a range, decide whether you want to be on the high end or you want to be on the lower end. And please note that if you're sticking to the high end, you should be able to present your value in such a way that they would buy it. And I always advise that you start with the high end anyway, because if they want to negotiate down, then they don't go below what the average person would get. But if you start to the low end and they decide to negotiate down, then you get lower than what the average person will get. But I would also say that what you write in that your application form is not law until you have gotten the role. So you can still negotiate when you get the role. So when you get into the interview stages and you can see, you will already tell whether they are feeling your vibes or they are not. You already tell whether your value is something that is undeniable to them. And so that gives you the negotiating power because you understand your skills and you know what you bring to the table. But never ever go on unprepared. Like, don't just quote figures. Make sure that you have checked what is in the market, what the average range is. My other advice would be, if you have links to the company, for instance, if you know someone who works there, you can find out about their finance. because there are some companies that can afford to pay more than others. So if finance is not a struggle, a particular struggle at the time where you are applying for that role, I would advise that you go all out. But if finance is a struggle, then bearing that in mind, you can negotiate to stay within a limit, pending. I always say pending for when you're negotiating for something you know you can get higher, making sure that they understand that within the next 6 months or within the next 1 year, when we scale or when I solve this problem I say I will solve for you, then I expect that my salary would reflect that.
Thank you very much for that. I think you actually answer, as in the response actually, was able to cover for what I asked. And I think I would like to, there is one or two other questions I would like to put out so that we can all learn from it. You mentioned, you have emphasized the importance of networking, making sure you are part of, but for someone who is naturally introvert and doesn't know where to start, they don't really know how to mingle or probably, team bond and all. What practical advice will you give for building meaningful professional connection, especially in Finland?
Okay. LinkedIn is always my practical advice. Networking is, I'm giving this advice to some students who reached out to me and said thank you, because they were always there. Every time people come and say network, it always scares them because they don't know how to go out there. Then I'll say LinkedIn, but I also want to add the bots before I tell you LinkedIn, because when you build the connection on LinkedIn, you will still eventually have to come out. But it just builds the time. So as you are chatting and you're getting to know these people, just know that eventually it is going to lead to a cup of coffee or a lunch. And so networking is complete when there's a physical meetup, but it can start online. So you don't have to put yourself out there if you don't want to, but you can be present on social media in the sectors that you're targeting. I would say that follow people who are thought leaders and top professionals in that sector in your field. Like their posts, comment on their posts, try to engage meaningfully with them. Slowly and surely, it will lead to a connection that sticks. Like, so you're not just adding them as a friend like that randomly. So you have liked their post, you have commented on it, they've replied to you. You can already feel the warmth exchange. Before then, that's a good time to send a friend request with a note saying, love your content, enjoy, looking forward to what you would write next, or basically just leave a line so that when they add you, your name already sticks. And so when you come into their inbox to maybe ask a further question from something they've posted that you don't want to put on the comment section, it can now be a natural conversation, if you understand what I'm saying. So there are also rules about navigating LinkedIn, but it is better because it is you and your screen. You're not seeing anybody. So if you're an introvert and you don't want to come out, this gives you enough time to build the confidence enough. And trust me, if you actually make that connection and it clicks, by the time it's time for coffee or lunch, you'll be ready. Because even you will be looking forward to meeting that person because of the value that you have both exchanged. So this is not even about, and trust me, so many jobs come out like this. It's not even about, hey, I'm looking for a job. If you know anything in this field, please let me know. That conversation may never even have happened. But just writing about what the person is interested in, note that the first thing is to target people in your sector, because naturally they'll be interested in the things that interest you. So it will be easy to connect. So you people are having normal conversation about things that interest both of you, and you're adding to yourselves. So by the time they say, we should meet for lunch or we should have a coffee together, you too want to meet that person. You want to put a face to this name. So this will be my advice for people who feel that they are not.
Please, okay, don't worry, I will move from here.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
This will be my advice to people who feel that they are not extroverty enough to come out. start with LinkedIn, start with your laptop and build the relationship. But please note that your networking will be complete. Finland is a trust society. So they want to see you. They want to be sure that you're not a
not a bot.
Yes, you're not a bot. They want to see that face. But
Yeah.
truth is, if you have built the level enough, whether you're an introvert or not, even you will be looking forward to putting a face to this name.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much on that. And I want to believe that every one of us on this call, we are all on LinkedIn. Many will ask that, oh, I'm just there. I don't know how to go around it. I don't know. Just like she has said, just you can start by connecting with people of of same interest as you, the kind of work you do, or just connect with them. It's easy for you to jump into their conversation because you can easily relate with whatever they post, and you can add a comment, like, share, and by doing that, you are basically building your own network too. Connect with them, they connect back to you, like and follow some pages of interest and all, and it goes a long way. And if you don't have LinkedIn, please try as much as you can to make sure you open it today. It goes a long way, and try to go there. Sorry about that. So I think someone raised his hand in the course of your discussion, and that is Mr. Olamide Adeojo. Please, you can unmute yourself, and you have the floor.
All right. Thank you very much for all this information. Yeah, talking about LinkedIn, I wanted to ask, how important is LinkedIn to job application in Finland? Do I need to put my LinkedIn address on my CV, and do they check it and all that? Then I also want to find out on LinkedIn, now that I'm in Finland, do I change my location to Finland or still leave it as in Nigeria or what? So that part is a bit confusing.
Let me start with the end. If you can, please change your location to Finland and try to verify yourself. Then to the other question where you asked how important, in 2026, it is super important in Finland. And I'll give you an example. I'll tell you why. So we've had the highest number of fake applicants in 2026 than we have had in the last 5 years. I'll explain to you what I mean by fake applicants. So people recruit agencies to apply for roles for them. So they pay money to agencies who decide that they will get jobs for them, and then they agree to the sum that will be paid. So these agencies go around applying to different companies for people. And then when you call for the interview, like the first interview, they they come online, but their face is static. So yeah, like the way I'm speaking to you now, you can see my head moving. I can go up, go down, I can turn back, but you see, the face doesn't move. And then if you ask them if they can just do something, a gesture, then they either disconnect from the call, or it becomes there's no network suddenly, and then they never come back. So I will tell you what helps us in avoiding to have to get to the first stage of the interview and realizing that it's a bot is by your LinkedIn. So the issue of just having a LinkedIn and not even having activity does not help you, because you can be classified as a fake just because your LinkedIn is empty. So things like the school that you went to being on your LinkedIn, so that we can verify, because you know that when you're in the same school with other people, LinkedIn will also suggest them to you as this person went to the school you went to, so that we can verify that this school that you're saying you had classmates too, you had other people with you. And so when these kind of things happen, we just check, okay, okay, he recently liked something, or she recently commented here, the person is active. Do you understand? Not those kind of LinkedIn pages that the person is so good on paper, and then you go to LinkedIn and you see that the person just joined LinkedIn 2 days ago, the connection is 2, there's no friend, the university is not verified, those kind of things. So LinkedIn actually helps us to be sure that the person is not a bot. That's one. when they have taken interest in you, they'd actually now come back and sit on your LinkedIn. So we don't go through, it's only when we have that suspicion in the first phase that this person can be, is this person really true? This person is too good to be true, or there's something around this person. There's just instinct sometimes. And then you go back to LinkedIn to check whether this person truly exists. Then you can decide whether you want to move forward with the person. But when they are beginning to consider to employ you, they will come back to your LinkedIn and they will look at everything that is there. So please take LinkedIn seriously. Anything that you don't want your professional story to carry, take it out of LinkedIn. Anything that you have to come and be explaining but to us, please take it out of LinkedIn. I hope this answers.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much. It really did.
Yeah, thank you very much. And one final one I would want to ask, and I don't know if you're another person. Okay, I think I can see one hand, but before then, I'll ask this one. Okay, before I ask, let's allow Mrs. Milekun Alake, you have the floor, please. Onwards.
Oh, thank you so much. Is it from what you said now, does it mean that we have to make connections on LinkedIn? Like, is it compulsory? Because usually I get notifications from LinkedIn that you should make connection with this particular person, but I ignore anyway. So is it compulsory we make connections on LinkedIn?
It's not compulsory, but it's important for your community. If I'm coming to verify who you are and I see that you have only 2 connections, my first instinct is this person is a bot. So, like, there should be connections, people from your school. I'm not asking you to add random people into your circle. I'm a firm believer of having only people that contribute to your life on LinkedIn. I'm not a believer of, I have so many LinkedIn requests currently that are just sitting down in my friend. I'm not accepting because we don't have any connection and there's nothing around what you do that is what I do. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I believe that LinkedIn should be your sane community. That's why I said your LinkedIn should be a deliberate effort. Things that are in the sector that you see yourself in, or that maybe the sector that you are dreaming about, maybe you want to change, or the sector that you are currently in. Yes, you will find people in those places that you can add. Also, your secondary school, your university mates too, a few of them can be your connections. It doesn't have to be everybody. Pick your community wisely, but please have a community. Don't have 5 connections, please, in 2026. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that response. Like I said, if last question I would want to ask, if you could leave everyone here with just one piece of advice, something that would genuinely change the career journey of an immigrant in Finland, what do you think that advice would be? Something that genuinely change their, I don't know if you get the question.
Yes, I do. And that is a hard one because there's so many things to say, but I'll say 2. The first one I'll say is, please understand the rules. Please take the pain to research, ask questions where you're not sure, and understand the rules so that you don't innocently or ignorantly be playing against them and you don't realize. My second would be, you are valuable and your value is able to produce such great impact in Finland. Do not let anyone or anything tell you otherwise. You are valuable and that value is able to bring great impact in Finland. If your mind is never able to be convinced otherwise about that, the rest will follow. But your mind has to agree that you yourself, this value I bring, even if they are not seeing it now, it has the ability to bring great impact. And so it will help you in how you present yourself, how you refine yourself, because I believe that every experience that we have helps us to shape our tomorrow self. So the experiences I'm having now, what I'm doing today, helps me to be able to talk better about what I do tomorrow. So please always start with that. Your value is needed in Finland. Finland needs that value. So don't let anybody talk you out of it or tell you otherwise.
Okay, thank you. And though I said that was the last question, but this one I want to ask.
Yes.
It's about the Finnish and the English, how would I put it? if you don't speak much of Finnish, there is this ideology that yes, don't even expect anything that is meaningful or that makes sense. So what do you think about that? Is it really true? Yes, you mentioned earlier that you have to take your Finnish very, very serious so that you can, But then, as a new immigrant that has spent maybe like a year or 2 years, what do you think their hope of getting a very good job is?
Well, the truth about the matter is there are English speaking jobs in Finland right now. There are jobs that do not require Finnish. But again, I would say, like I said before, let language be a part of your bag. Let it be a part of you. Let it be something that you have decided that you want to attach to yourself. I'm someone who believes that if I'm going out, then I should go all out. So because if you are in a multilingual environment like Finland, for instance, why should you only be able to get only one part? Do you get what I mean? For instance, you get a job with a Finnish company that the role is in English, but there are parts of that company that has Finnish. There will be
Hmm.
certain roles that fuse both Finnish and English together. But because you only speak Finnish, you're already automatically screened out of those roles. This has happened to me. I've worked in places where my own role was in English, but the other roles were bilingual. And because I wasn't good in Finnish, I was not able to take up the remaining parts of those roles or to go higher from where I was because it genuinely required. And I wasn't even, what's the word now? It was a hard filter that I saw clearly. I could see with my eyes that having worked in this company, even I know that I cannot perform well in this role because I'm not going to be able to understand what they're saying. I won't be able to express myself in the way that the customer or the other person in the stakeholding needs to be able to understand me. So I would say, as a newcomer, take it seriously. Go to language cafes, go for Finnish classes. If you have the opportunity, if you came to school, that is, go to language cafes if you don't have the opportunity. There are so many YouTube videos and podcasts. Just get yourself familiar with the language. Do all that you can not to stay away from it. Finnish is hard, but it is not impossible when you practice every day. That's one trick that I have learned. The more I practice every day, the better I am at it. But once I stop, oh no, it's almost as if it flies out of my head. So I try to do my Finnish every day. And there's a difference in it because the more you practice, the better you get at it. So it might feel a little, but slow, slow, steady steps. You can start with 10 minutes a day, every day, 10 minutes. By the time you get immersed into it, you will not know when 10 minutes becomes 1 hour. So I would
Hmm.
just say don't make it a hard filter for yourself because it will give you more opportunities than you can tell. I've seen people who are less qualified given the job only because they can speak the Finnish. The employer was willing to train them on the skill. So please take it as serious as you can. And no, it's not a filter because there are many roles that you can get already that you don't need Finnish for. But even when you are in those roles, please try to make it a discipline to do Finnish, even if it's 10 minutes a day, so that you don't get lost in this market.
Thank you very much. Everyone listening on this call right now, probably those that will play this recording, don't be limited by the fact that you don't speak Finnish. Go all out, apply even while you're waiting to learn Finnish. And also, just like it was mentioned, Finnish it seems hard, but it's not impossible to actually learn. In fact, maybe we should even change the narrative now that Finnish is very easy. It's
Yes,
very easy. You have
speak it.
to build that mindset
Yes,
that
exactly.
then that gives you that
Keep your mind
opportunity
at
to
ease.
feel that yes, I think I can learn. But
Your head will
when your
follow.
ideology has been filled with it's hard, you too. The moment you can't get it, you just say, I want to go hard now. Let
Uh,
me just don't let me stress myself. It's hard, I cannot. And there are some that have actually spent a lot of time here in the country, and for even as they have spent like 5, 6, 7 years, still very hard for them to speak Finnish. Sometimes it could feel like if this person can spend this so much years, so basically it means I can spend the same amount of years without even knowing how to speak. But we just have to be intentional about it, and I believe we will surely get it. So there are jobs that doesn't require Finnish, while there are some if you want to upscale, you want to, be able to get more recognized and get more out of your career, then it will be good for you to speak the language of the land. It's very, very important. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adeojo. Or let's, Mr. Yodeji, you want to say something, or is still the old hand? That is all?
No, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. So unless we have anyone with a question or the other, I think I want to appreciate Mrs. Adeojo. It's been an insightful, practical, and very inspiring, session. I'm sure everyone here has learned something valuable today. And I can assure you that this recording will be online, and you can replay it anytime. You can just go back and check and still see, the lesson. Maybe there are some quotes that you heard that you still want to listen to again. You'll see there. On behalf of the AYDF, we want to say thank you for sharing your knowledge, your experience, and your time with us. And I believe if anyone has questions in relation to what has been discussed today or as relating to job or something, I'm sure they can ask you. We'll send a thank you message into the group, into the AYDF group, and we'll tag you with it so that they can come to your DM and ask you or, make requests for. I hope we are allowed to actually tag you in that thank you message, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, please. So that they can come to you directly and, ask. And, if there is any job opportunity that you feel would fly well with your people, the AYDS, don't hesitate to post it in the group, please, because I'm sure there are so many that are actually looking to get jobs, to put food on their table and all. To go a long way, and with your position, I'm sure you'll be able to have access to one or two like that could go a long way to help every one of us. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. Okay, I think one hand is raised, Mr. Badamosi Kinome. So please, you have the floor. Mr. Badamosi? Or is that hand raised by mistake? Mr. Badamosi?
Hello.
Hello, you too.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, house.
Good evening. But this your upside down head is very confusing. I don't know. But it's okay, you have the floor.
Don't mind me. I'm still displaying my Nigerian character.
Oh, necessary. Sometimes you can leave Nigeria. Nigeria might not leave you in time.
I'm sorry I came late, and I think with the few information I got from our speaker. I think yes, I think I had some knowledge. I tapped some knowledge, and I think it's somehow related to what I've been doing since I came to Finland here. You see, the challenges I'm having is that on this issue of LinkedIn, I have done that even right from the time I was in Nigeria. I've done that. I've updated my LinkedIn and other applications that is relevant to public viewers. So I've done that, and in Finland, I have attended so many interviews based on my CV, and I've been recommended by consultants, attended interview. But I don't know the reason why. After the interview, they will even give a very good recommendation that your experience is good, your expression is good, everything is okay. You have the experience on the job. At the end, I think that's the only. After getting those recommendations, I think after the recommendation, there will be no feedback. Yeah. So the last one I even attended was in Stockholm, in Sweden.
Okay.
So I think, in fact, they've already concluded. After the conclusion, they said, "You are in Finland. How is it going to make it easy? You're going to make it easy to work in Sweden because you also need a working permit in Sweden." Yeah, I say yes. So they said they will look into it and let's see what is going on, what is going to happen. I think I think up to now we have not gotten any response. So my question is, what could really have happened? Is it because nobody ever asked me, did I speak Finnish? Nobody. Nobody ever asked me, did I school in Finland? No. Nobody ever
Okay.
asked me uh, questions that I might not be able to answer. Based on what I've applied for, based on my field, I think I could be able to defend my professions and I could be
Okay.
able to express my potential at least to the maximum that could convince the uh, the recruiters. So, and I know that there are so many people like that that have the intelligence, that have other experience
Mm-hmm.
outside Finland. Like myself, I'm an engineer by profession.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the field for many years, and both Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So, and during this interview, I could be able to defend, but at the end, you will not get any response.
Mm.
So, what do you think could be happening? Are they suspending? Are they? Is there any other thing they are considering that we don't know? Or maybe they are just putting these names in their stock files, waiting for future vacancy. Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're
true.
right.
They say, let me
Yes,
just interview these
because
people and keep it there. Maybe in the next 2 years, if I have vacancy, I can even call them this and then they're still alive.
some will even ask you that will you like that they store your information so that they can contact you for future vacancies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Exactly. They are common. So you that have the experience, you that have the Finnish experience, please, I'm asking you, what is going
Mm-hmm.
on here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if you joined when I was talking about the fact that the only thing you can control as the talent is your responsiveness. Every other
yeah,
thing is out of your control. And from what you
yeah.
have just
Sorry,
explained,
I apologize that I came late,
no
so
problem.
I didn't. Yeah,
So
I
from
didn't.
what you have just
So,
explained, you have just explained to us all the other things that are out of your control. At least going by what you just said, you did really well in the interview. It means that you were very responsive and you gave value.
yeah,
However, the decision never rests with the recruiter. The recruiter's work is to recommend who they have brought forward. And then it goes on to, there are different layers of authorities that approve who will eventually be recruited into the company. So sometimes it may not be the recruiter's top choice. It has happened to me a lot that it's not the person that I thought was best for the role that was taken. But that is because, as the recruiter, the decision does not rest with us, it rests with higher authorities than us. That's one. Two, there are many other situations that can happen. For my job search journey in Finland, I will give you one example. I applied for a role and I got to the third stage of the interview, and then I got a rejection. And my referee called the recruiter for me to say, I recommended her, she was doing so well, what went wrong? And then the recruiter told him that the role had been closed, that the company decided that they were going to recruit internally and save themselves the extra funds it would cost to have recruited for that role. But we had already gotten to stage three. And to be honest, if my referee didn't call for me, I would never have known that this was what happened. So there are many situations, and there are other kind of situations that can happen apart from the role being closed internally. Sometimes there may be another person that they are interested in. Sometimes their eyes may just have opened to a talent in their company that they think would be best for the role. So what I would just say is keep knocking on the doors. The one that suits you perfectly would open up. What you are doing now based on what you have described is very good. Your responsiveness from your description seems to be really good. So please keep at it. The one that is yours will open really soon. But
Amen.
sometimes
Amen. Yeah.
the opportunity, most of the time, the decision doesn't lie with the recruiter, and sometimes there are actually stories behind the scene that if you are privy to, then it will make a bit more sense. But because you don't have the full picture, all these conclusions are possible. So my only advice here would be to keep on doing the one that you can control, which is your responsiveness and being valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Just second question, please. It's just very to be very. I mean, to be very fast. Uh, I I got a letter from some, I don't know, just from my mail from this Adepo. I don't know. I don't. Maybe you are aware of this Adeco. He said the Adeco they are recruiting companies.
Yes, dear.
Yeah, yeah. So they sent me job offer. They said they got my CV from somewhere, maybe from the maybe from other recommendation. I don't know. Maybe from hand to hand. They sent a mail to me. They invited me. Yeah, I went there. We have oral discussion. In fact, they already have my CV on their system. I was trying to even present. They said, no, 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 they have it. In fact, when they showed me just just like a red copy
Of what
of
you
what
have.
I was holding. I was even
Okay.
asking, where do you get this CV from? Is that, I said, don't worry. Now you have your LinkedIn, you have recommendations, you have applied for so many companies here. They were just listing some of those companies I've applied for. And I
Okay.
said, well, I never applied to Adeco. They said, no, they have it. They have that. I don't know, maybe through the database. I don't know. So they keep on sending mails, but the mails at times require that you must at least speak Finnish. There are some don't require Finnish, but if I am applying sending my CV is in English language. So does it mean that the Finnish itself could be another negative barrier towards getting maybe being someone getting to get employment in Finnish language? Then, if that should be the case, does it mean that you have to go to Finnish school, maybe like spend another extra year in Finnish college, maybe come out with a certificate, if you can speak small, maybe Vahan Suomea, the one that so you can be able to defend yourself. But I want you to throw more light. If that should be a word for everybody online, that guys, if you know you don't want to go to get employment, go to finish school, at least try to sit down in the classroom for 1 year, learn the language, then you cannot come out and start employing. It can be a better advantage. If that is the advice, or we should continue. Please, being an experience and being in the field of recruitment, please give us more enlightenment. Thank you, ma'am.
I think I answered this question already from Mr. Temitokwe, but I'll say it again. Please,
Okay.
there are roles in Finland that do not require Finnish. And I also said that even though you get those roles, please don't neglect your Finnish language because it will open more doors for you. But it's not a hard filter. There are roles that do not require English. For instance, there's this Hello Talent Finland. I don't know if you know about them, that you can um subscribe to. So they send only roles that do not have Finnish as a requirement. That's the only kind of roles that you find there. So maybe that's
Hello,
one.
talent. I don't
Yeah.
know. You can share also.
Yes, I will. I'll put it on the
Uh,
group. Hello Talent
please,
Finland.
President, I beg, help us collect so that we
Yeah,
can also.
she will put it in the group. Don't
I'll
worry,
put it
she's
in the
part of
group.
us.
So that's
Okay.
one example, for instance. Also, work in Finland. If you follow them on LinkedIn, if you don't, please do now. They have
I've done
certain
that. I
posts.
have.
Like now, they posted one last week where they posted only English roles, and there are over 200 roles in that post. So if
Mhm.
you follow. There are certain, those are two examples on the top of my head that I can give now that have just English roles. This is me trying to say that you don't have to have Finnish, the knowledge, you don't have to speak Finnish to be able to work in Finland. But please, that doesn't mean that you should not learn the language. Because as I explained earlier, it opens doors for you. This, and moreover, you are in the society, so you want to be able to speak to people without depending on another person to help you translate it. So please take the language seriously too. But where you are at now, it's possible to find roles with you where you are.
Yeah, been a puhuva so there.
Okay.
I will-
So see you.
Thank you, Mr. Naramosi.
Voice
Thank
You
you
see
very
what
over.
you, yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. Yeah.
I think we have spent enough time, and I think it is only proper that we just call it a day from here. And as we come to the end of today's monthly dialogue, I would like to sincerely thank every participant who joined us this evening. Those that have left, those that are still on the call, those that started with us and are still here. And I want to especially appreciate our the first person that actually joined, and the second person. There's a reason why I say that the first person that joined was actually the speaker, Mrs. Oluwabunmi Adeojo. She was the first person, then followed by Mr. Setin, and afterwards other people came in and joined, and Mr. Setin is still here with us. We appreciate you especially. Thank you very much. We want to say to all our participants, we hope today's discussion has actually equipped you with a practical knowledge that would help you navigate opportunities and overcome some challenges here in Finland. We know, yes, some things sound too good to be true. That we feel like, okay, I've been applying this thing. Or is it just one small addition that she said? Without making any difference. But this question is, if you apply it, will you die? Will you kill? Would anything happen to you? No, why not just apply it and, let God, help with the rest. So there is always a very thin difference between failure and success. Just going overboard, without diving into change can actually go a long way. And one thing about looking for a job here is the moment you have a job, you even forget your days of looking for a job, that you have waited like a year or 2 years before you even get a job. But the moment you have a job and you're working fine, some of us even forget the fact that there are people that are jobless, even as we speak right now. So if you found today's session valuable, please invite your friend and family to join our future AYDF program. So many other programs are coming up. And if you notice a particular topic or title you would like us to focus on, discuss in the next session, you can drop it in the group or send it to any of the AYDF executives. I'm sure it will get to the right channel. Together, we will continue to build a stronger, more connected Yoruba community in Finland, and make Finland, a more a place where we can all, feel relaxed and succeed in it. Before we close, I want to probably let us know that for as many of us that are members of the AYDF, that's Yoruba in Finland, try as much as you can to visit the website, register www.yorubainfinland.com, and be part of be a member of the association. We encourage everyone to become active members and participate in our community programs. One thing is for sure, if there is need for a job, there are so many that have applied for a job and they request for recommendation. Some of them would probably come to us. We have to have the right recommendation. Some we don't know. We will tell you we don't know you because you have not registered, you have not been part of anything in the community, you have not even come to our program, but yet you want us to, to recommend you or to stand for you, on one case or the other. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to be actively involved in the community you are, because you don't know when, even if you don't need our help, doesn't still mean that you will now be just part of the numbers. You don't want to, be involved in anything. Please, let's try as much as we can. It is our joint task. Nobody is more member than you. You are a Yoruba, so you have the same right as every other person, the same right as I have. You cannot put something, I'll tell you who are you. No, you have every right to be in that group too. And at the same time, please, let's register on the website. I want to appreciate every one of us once again for joining. May God continue to bless every one of us, bless our family, and also bless AYDF as a community, and also the country we find ourselves in, Finland. God will bless Finland for each and every one of us. If God bless Finland, then indirectly we'll be blessed too. It means everything will be much more easier. They will start opening this part of free this, free that again, that they are trying to close for some reason. So I want to tell you that you should have a wonderful evening and a great week ahead. God bless each and every one of us. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Adeojo. We appreciate you a lot more than you can imagine. And we are still going to send the thank you message into the group so that we can properly appreciate you. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. We love you all. Thank you. Eshegon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Vitus, Mario, Nada.
Mr. Bedamasi. What I can mean that you are not it's like you are a comedian to a certain extent. All right, so
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll talk later. All right. Good. Yeah.